What's going on, guys? For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, we're going to be talking about 2025 films and which movies I think could actually make $1 billion at the box office. That's pretty much, I'd say, like the biggest achievement at the box office your film can have, outside of maybe hitting $2 billion or $3 billion. Of course, there's definitely different parameters, because if you have a $10 million budget film that makes $100 million, that's a massive win. But of course, for big blockbusters, that $1 billion mark, very significant, because only like 55 or so films have ever hit that mark. So what films do I think are going to hit $1 billion this year? That's what I want to talk about. Now, the reason that I'm making this video early May is because of the fact that nothing's really come close to hitting $1 billion except one movie that I want to start off this video by talking about, which is going to be the Minecraft movie. Now, the Minecraft movie, I just saw something this morning that said it's actually going to be coming out on digital soon. It's sitting right around 870 million. And considering how hyped up that movie was, and it still might not even cross $1 billion, that shows you how much of an achievement it truly is to hit that mark, and how much momentum and hype you need to have to get to that point, because it takes a lot, especially that it's a kids movie and it's sort of into that summer season. That's like where we're getting now. So I want to talk about what other films too going forward I think could hit that mark. Kicking these off here by starting off with May, the month that we're currently in, and then just going forward from there. The only two movies that I think are even worth talking about would be Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I almost said Dead Reckoning. I keep getting the names mixed up. I'm going to be honest, Dead Reckoning, or The Final Reckoning, oh my god, I'm getting them mixed up again, is definitely not going to make $1 billion. It's probably going to make a couple $100 million, which will definitely be a success for the franchise, but none of the Mission Impossible movies have ever really been super close to hitting $1 billion, and honestly, would they come out on the same day? I'm talking about Lilo and Stitch, that's what I'm referring to, and honestly, since they have to compete with one another, that makes it actually pretty rough for both of them. So quite honestly, even though Lilo and Stitch is also one of the kids' films, I feel like all the Disney live-action remakes have just been so shaky recently that I don't really know if it's going to be able to carry that momentum. However, Lilo and Stitch is a very beloved film from 2004. The thing is, with Snow White, that movie's like 100 years old, and yes, kids know about it now, but I feel like a lot more kids grew up watching Lilo and Stitch, so I think it has a shot to make it for sure, especially because June isn't too packed, which we're going to talk about in a second. So I would say for sure Lilo and Stitch has maybe a chance, but I don't know if it's really going to make $1 billion. From there, I feel like June is kind of just a bit of a gap. We have John Wick, Ballerina, coming out, the Ballerina film, whatever it's called. I don't think that movie's going to make $1 billion. It's not even going to be close, honestly. I think that it's one of these films where it'll make a couple $100 million, it'll be a success, but it doesn't need to make $1 billion to be successful. The only other big hitter that I really see coming out in June is the How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake. I know a lot of people like that movie, but I do not think it has the momentum to make $1 billion, especially because it's coming out in June, and the next couple of weeks, especially as we hit July, we're getting into some heavy hitters that I want to talk about right now. First up, we've got Jurassic World Rebirth. Honestly, I think this movie is gonna make $1 billion. I know that July is pretty packed, and we're gonna talk about it in a second, but basically, July, what it consists of is first, Jurassic World Rebirth, halfway through the month, Superman, then at the end of the month, Fantastic Four. Even though it's first, it's technically going to get to have like that free opening weekend. The second and third and fourth weekend might kind of get hit from Superman and Fantastic Four and people wanting to go see those, but I still think kids at the end of the day want to see dinosaurs. This is a beloved franchise. People know the name. It's one of the biggest names on earth next to like Star Wars and Marvel and just anything else you could think of, even Disney to an extent. Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, people love these movies, and every single sequel has made $1 billion from the Jurassic World franchise. I think this one's also going to make $1 billion, even though it's in a packed month. Next up, though, we got to talk about Superman. Is it going to hit $1 billion? They're putting a lot of money into the marketing. I think it has a shot, but quite honestly, $2 billion films coming out within like a week and change of each other, I don't know if that's really going to happen. I see Superman doing really well. I see all three of these films doing really well. Spoiler alert for Fantastic Four, but I think that Superman, it's going to come in maybe around like the $800 million mark, but again, it's not going to cross the $1 billion mark. That's what I'm here to talk about today. So far, I think only one film's going to hit it, and from there, Fantastic Four, even though Thunderbolts is really good, I don't think that Fantastic Four has the same name value as something like Superman, so quite honestly, I don't think that movie has the chance to make $1 billion, especially because of the fact, again, I think that this film is going to take the biggest hit from July being such a packed month because it's the last one to come out. Jurassic World, of course, it gets the opportunity to be the first one, so therefore it's just going to be clear, even though there's some stuff in June, but it doesn't even compare to the other two heavy hitters. So yeah, I think Fantastic Four is kind of going to get like the short end of the stick here. But either way, going into August, there's really nothing coming out. August, September, and October. There's like, some horror movies, but that's kind of like a weaker part of the year. Tron Ares comes out. That film's not going to hit $1 billion. Maybe it'll hit a couple $100 million, but realistically, I don't see it making that much. Then we've got to talk about November with Wicked for Good. This is one of those other films where I feel like it's a sequel, but will it make more? Will it make less than the original? The original did not hit $1 billion. But I think that one of the pros that it has for it is that people have had a year to see this movie. They've had a year to see the first film going into the second film. So maybe more people will go to see the second film. But on the opposite end, people that haven't seen the first film are not going to want to go and see the second film without seeing the first. So it's sort of like this thing where there's one thing pulling it up, one thing pulling it down. I think that they market it well enough. Maybe it has a chance, but at the end of the day, I just don't think Wicked for Good is going to make $1 billion. Another heavy hitter that we need to talk about is Zootopia 2. I actually forgot this movie's coming out. I have seen like nothing about this film. I feel like they haven't really been talking about it. I feel like there hasn't been any advertising like at all. I think when it comes to Zootopia 2, this film has a chance because of the fact that, first of all, it's coming out that like October, November area. It's a very open area. There's really not too much competition within that realm. The first Zootopia made $1 billion. I could see this one making $1 billion, quite honestly. Again, because of the fact that there isn't that much competition in that fall area. People are going to want to go to the movies to see the next big hit Disney movie. Disney sequels, not live action remakes, tend to do well depending on if they market them right. Look at Inside Out 2. It's now like the highest grossing animated film ever. And to cap off the year, we've got to talk about one heavy hitter in December that I feel like everyone's forgetting to talk about. It's going to be Avatar: Fire and Ash. Now, quite honestly, when it comes to the Avatar films, it's not even a matter of, oh, is it going to hit $1 billion? It's a matter of, is it going to hit $2 or $3 billion? Avatar: Fire and Ash is an absolute lock to hit $1 billion. Is it going to hit 2 or 3? Can it keep that momentum from the previous two? Who knows? But either way, even if most of the box office is from 2026 because it's dropping right at the end of the year, since it dropped in 2025, it still counts as a 2025 box office film. And listen, what films at the end of the day do I actually think are going to make $1 billion? That's what I want to make very clear here. I think that, for starters, Jurassic World Rebirth is going to make $1 billion. I don't think Lilo and Stitch is going to make $1 billion. I think that Zootopia 2 is going to make $1 billion. I think that Avatar: Fire and Ash is going to make $1 billion. That's like 3 or 4 movies that I think are going to make $1 billion there. The others might perform very well. Like, I really hope all these movies perform well, but it's just a matter of, are they going to cross that final threshold? But listen, let me know what movies you guys think are going to make $1 billion down in the comments below. By the way, I'm a bit under the weather today, quite honestly, not feeling that well, so sorry if this video isn't like perfectly spoken or whatever. My throat is killing me right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.